Hello, I'm Sumi Somaskanda, and we're coming to you from Washington at this hour because we have breaking news for you. Former U.S. President Donald Trump says he will be indicted for a third time. He called it, quote, another fake indictment and an attempt to interfere in the 2024 presidential election campaign being led by a deranged prosecutor. Those are his words, as you see there in the statement. There's been a lot of speculation that an indictment over Trump's alleged interference in the 2020 presidential election and his role in the January 6th riot is imminent. No other sitting or former U.S. president has ever been indicted on criminal charges, and for Donald Trump, this is potentially his third time in just 4 months. He's already due to stand trial next year in 2 separate cases. All the while, according to opinion polls, he remains the outstanding favorite to win the Republican nomination for the 2024 presidential election. He's repeatedly said he will run for the White House even if he is convicted, even if he is jailed. So let's go live now to former Republican National Committee official Doug High, who's standing by for us. Doug, you have been following all the latest developments with us here, and we're seeing there's a lot happening in the courtroom here in Washington. At the moment, the latest that we're hearing is that the grand jury has just returned a sealed indictment. The judge has approved a summons of an unnamed individual to appear in court, but just take us through what we're expecting to see.
Here, well, we're expecting to see the Department of Justice indict Donald Trump. This is now, another indictment. It seems that they're stacking up on him, and what we saw with this statement is that he says it's a fake indictment. Obviously, the indictment is a very real thing. We'll find out if he's innocent or guilty if he's charged, but the indictment is very real. It increases the illegal pressure that Donald Trump finds himself, but in the short term does not bizarrely increase the political pressure that he feels himself under. In fact, he's the one who told us that this was going to happen. He released a statement earlier today on his platform Truth Social, essentially so he could get out in advance of this, and also as he's done very well on this, raise money and shore up his Republican base. Very bizarre things that happen typically when a politician is indicted. They're in big trouble politically and legally. With Trump, he is at least in the short term suspending some of the political laws of gravity here.
Just a reminder of viewers, this is all linked to the federal investigation into efforts to undermine the 2020 election results. Remind us of what exactly Jack Smith, the special counsel, and his office have been looking at.
Right, well, first and foremost, Jack Smith is a special counsel, so he's been appointed specifically to look into these events that surrounded Donald Trump's trying to overturn the election. He's not a Biden administration employee. He's not the Attorney General, for instance. This is an independent investigation that it looks like has concluded that Donald Trump broke the law. You typically, if you're a special counselor or a prosecutor, you don't file a charge unless you think you have a very good chance of a finding that that person has committed a crime and will be found guilty. And so what they've done is they've talked to seemingly every person that they could in the administration in the state of Georgia, for instance, as well, who have had conversations with Donald Trump on trying to overturn the election and on the events